Friday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 FM weather. Clouds will increase. Today we'll go with a blend of sun and clouds in the low 80s and light south winds. Partly cloudy overnight, the overnight temperature in the mid-60s. Dry weather, sunny weather, a few scattered clouds planned for Saturday. The high 85 to 90, southwest wind 10 to 15. Chance of showers and thunderstorms in the 70s Saturday night. Spotty showers and thunderstorms Sunday, a blend of sun and clouds, and the high temperature around 85. Your life, your music, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The UK says evidence suggests Iran is responsible for attacks on oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. The main suspect in the Christchurch attacks, Brenton Tarrant, has pleaded not guilty on all charges. At least 50 people have been killed and thousands more are displaced after tribal clashes in northeast DRC. And the Archbishop of Paris will hold the first Mass on Saturday in Notre Dame Cathedral since April's fire devastated the building.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guest today is Mr. Sandy Beebe Gillespie out of Blytheville, Arkansas, and his organization is Healing in the Hood. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for making the drive this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
All right, so I became aware of your organization by way of Crowley's Ridge Development Council. They were hosting an event several weeks ago discussing all types of awareness prevention concerning drugs, alcohol, and a variety of other topics. It was held on the Arkansas State University's campus, and I was like, I need to have him on the show and learn more about this organization and make the community more aware of who you are, so that hopefully you can start helping some other people in other areas. So before we get into all the details of the organization, tell us a little bit more about yourself and then lead into how you started this organization.
Of course, my name is Sandy Gillespie. Everybody in my community calls me BB.
Okay.
I was given it. I know some people always ask me, how do you get BB out of Sandy Gillespie? I asked the same question when I was young. Actually, BB is short for my real nickname, and I usually don't tell people this, but I guess I'll tell you this. Is Booberry.
Okay.
And, do you remember those cereal when we were young, Count Dracula? You remember the Booberry cereal? So my aunt had the audacity to tell me that when I was little, I was ugly.
Oh my goodness.
She said I looked like the Booberry ghost. So they named me Booberry, and in turn they ended up shortening it down to BB.
Oh my goodness.
So that's how I got the nickname BB. I've been a resident of Blytheville at least 38 years.
Okay.
The only 2 years that I was absent from Blytheville, 40, is at least 37 years. We spent like almost 2 years in South Bend, Indiana, when I was young.
Okay.
Where my mom was killed at. My mom was killed by her husband in South Bend, which in turn me, my grandmother, and my sister, Shasta, we moved back to Blytheville.
Okay.
And I spent maybe 6 months of my life in Oceanside, California, with my dad and mom at the time I was young, probably 3-4 years old. But other than that, I've been a resident of Blytheville, Arkansas, 37 years out of my life. Have 5 children. I'm married.
Shout out to the family.
Yeah, they keep us busy. They keep me and my wife busy. They keep me running. I actually be in Jonesboro tomorrow for a AAU tournament. My son, my youngest, is 10 years old. He plays travel ball, and I have my oldest is 21. She's my oldest daughter. I have 2 19, I know, don't ask me.
Look, that's your business.
Two boys, I have two boys that's 19, and I have a young daughter. She's 16 years old, and I get joy out of being with my family. So that's pretty much where I'm at here as far as Blytheville, and my background in Blytheville.
Okay. All right, so now let's get into how did you come up, one, with the name, and what inspired you to start the organization Healing in the Hood?
Well, I came up with the name. It was actually me and my cousin, my pastor, Tim Rogers. I don't know if you know Tim Rogers. That's my pastor, Tim Rogers, and some of the guys at our church. We actually had we was trying to, Blytheville's been plagued by violence for a little while. It didn't just start this year with 7 to 8 murders, however many we had. It's been going on kind of a while, and we saw the need to try to put something together as far as the community goes. An event, and it actually derived from the event that we had a Healing in the Hood Day. Where we involved local churches. We had local churches, local organizations. It didn't matter who you were. If you were just a part of the community, we wanted you to come out, and we did it in Williams Park. Williams Park is a predominantly black park where our kids go and play. And we did it in Williams Park, and we had Mike Lester, who was our local radio personality, and Blytheville, he was our DJ, and it was a day to remember because at the end, this is one take I took from it. At the end, everybody held hands, and we held each other hands up, and we sung "We Are the World."
That's amazing.
I can't sing, but I think I sounded good that day.
That's right.
But we sang "We Are the World," and from that day, from the turnout of that day and the response we had from the community that day, we kind of was like, oh man, I was like, well, Pastor, what you think about, man, if we start this organization called Healing in the Hood, or the organization? So Pastor bagged me 100%. Joaquin Benson, who was my assistant director, he bagged me. We put together a team of guys and a team of ladies, because without ladies, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna happen. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but the ladies keep the organization afloat. So without the ladies, it wouldn't be possible. And now 10 years later, we're still working in the community.
That is really amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to say good morning to Mrs. Shanquetta Cunningham, who says, hey.
I'll tell Shanquetta I said hello.
Yes.
That is my friend.
Yes, she's doing her thing down here in Jonesboro.
Yeah, Shanquetta actually came and did I would call it a boot camp because she don't play. So she did like a boot camp for, my wife has an organization called Daddy Diamonds, which is a collaborative, which is a organization that's under the umbrella of Healing in the Hood. And she came and they let us be a part of it. And Shanquetta came and shed some light on a lot of things that we can do as far as being structured, a structured organization, and she also sends me a lot of things about grants and stuff like this. So shout out to Shanquetta and Carriage Grants.
All right.
Yeah.
All righty then. And good morning to Mr. Kobe Parker as well.
Oh, that's my buddy too, Kobe online. Man, tell Kobe, hey, me and him supposed to be doing lunch after this. He gotta have his pocket ready because I'm ready when I leave the station.
I want to eat too, Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe doing some good things over here in Jonesboro. And Kobe also he sent me some information on things. It's what I love about the fact is Shanquetta and Kobe. Now Shanquetta's from my community, but Kobe, it's rare, and I'm saying this with all humbleness, is humility. It's rare that we have people that look like you and I that share information once they get it to help another person.
That's right.
And so I shout out to them that they always share with me information that they find, and I find that to be awesome when we can work together to try to build our communities.
And that's the only way that we can really survive, and that's the only way we can really get more done is if we work together.
Right.
And it goes back to some of the Kwanzaa principles of unity and collective work and responsibility, which I'm a big advocate for, but we'll get into that some other time. I want to get into your mission.
Okay.
In your mission, which is on your Facebook page, so if anybody wants to find out more information, go to Facebook and just type in Healing in the Hood, and that you can pull up the mission or their vision, which is in that info spot. And so you talk a little bit about your life and how you were once a part of the problem that you are now trying to help eradicate and turn around, because you don't want to see other young men and ladies going down the same path that you took. So would you mind expounding on some of that?
Okay, well, of course, I'm a Bible believer, and the Bible says that we are overcomers by the words of our testimony.
Okay.
And I do have a testimony of I was raised right. I told you earlier that my mom was murdered when I was 8 years old. My mom was murdered when I was 8 years old, and I kind of had an out with God for a while, because I would say this is what I would say. I would say how my grandmother, my mama taught me that God is so loving, yet you'll take a parent from an 8-year-old child and a 6-year-old child, and brutally. My mom was her husband actually shot her in her leg so she couldn't run after they had some marital disputes where they split. But he decided that if she wasn't going to be with him, she wasn't going to be with anyone. So he caught her walking. He caught her walking in an alley in South Bend, Indiana, and he kind of had staked out our house and things like that. He caught her walking, and when he came out on her, she tried to run. He shot her in the leg so that she couldn't run. And the reports I got from the South Bend Police Department, which I'm trying to get all the investigation together. Now, he shot her in the leg, and then he stood over and shot her twice in the head. So
and you were 8 years old.
I was 8 years old, and I still remember the knock on the door from the police department, and my grandmother sent my uncle to identify my mom because she didn't want to go to identify her. So I kind of, me and God kind of wrestled for a while, and it wasn't from the heart. It was just maybe from a hurt standpoint of not having a parent. Of course, it seems in the world we live in, especially in our black community, the mom is always the one that holds the family together. Mm-hmm. So I just had questions for God a long time. Why did you take my mama? I was in school. I was an all-state basketball player. I was an honor roll student. But yet, when I look in the stands, I had no one there supporting me, and I was kind of jealous of the guys that did. And I wasn't jealous in a way where I was mad at them. I was just wanting the same thing. I was wanting the same thing. My grandmother was older, lack of education. She did the best she could to raise me. My sister did a doggone good job with me and my sister. But the fact is, she had health issues that prevented her from going to games. And if you're not educated, education is not your main priority.
Sorry.
So I became went to college for a year at Crawley's Ridge College over in Paragould, and I hooked up with some people.
Okay.
I started to do a little street pharmaceutical things, for a little while. I got into the gang thing. I got into the drug thing, and but the exciting part about it is it's kind of it makes you go back to what the Bible says. It's once something put in you, it has to come out of you. So that wasn't to me. Although I did it, and I'm gonna say this. It's what people can say what they want to say, but when you go into clubs and people know you and people is fond of you, it's cool. I don't care what nobody say. Making money
at the time,
it's cool. Yeah, they can say, we can say, well, it's an illusion. Well, it's a good illusion at the time, because you're making that money. I mean, you got all the attention. I mean, you're getting what you want to get. You know what I mean? But there is a penalty. There is a consequence to it, and I once did all that. I was once part of the problem in my community, and once my eyes opened up, and once that teaching that was in me came back, and my dad actually got on drugs. And I actually was the one time through a third party was actually a person that served my dad some drugs.
Oh, wow.
Then it became a reality that I'm hurting other people's parents. I'm hurting other young men mothers, and I'm hurting other young men fathers, and I'm hurting families, and I'm hurting sisters, and I'm hurting brothers. And then it became a reality because I went around telling everybody don't sell anything to my daddy.
Okay.
So the light bulb came on. I realized I was being a nuisance to my community. I realized that I wasn't raised that way. I realized that it was short-lived. Mm-hmm. I realized that there was only two options I had. Either I was going to end up in the penitentiary or I was going to end up in the grave early. and I had a young daughter when I was 19. I had my baby, so one thing about me, by not having a dad, I did not want that to happen to my child.
Okay.
So when the light bulb came on, I made some conscious decision to change my life.
That's awesome.
And become a part. So that's why I always say that when I see young men now, or I see young ladies that look like me doing some of the things that I did, I always say that's me.
Yes.
So that's why I can't turn my back, because that's me. If I can change, then I know doggone well you can change.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And those of us that have the knowledge, wisdom, and the passion, we have a responsibility to the generations that are coming behind us. And even those that may be in our same age bracket, we have a responsibility to our people,
right,
to help lift them up out of whatever situation they may be in. I know there are some people who you can try to help them all day long, and they simply refuse. Well, fine, just pray for them and keep it moving, or, but I hate to say it like that. And I don't like to leave anybody behind. But definitely it is our responsibility to help those that we can. And so hopefully you will plant some seeds in those people, and they'll continue the cycle, for more generations.
Yes, ma'am. I'm hoping that's what comes out of it. I'm hoping that my light will shine. Of course, I always preach that I'm not perfect. Even though I've turned my life around, I'm not perfect. I'm the first one to say I'm jacked up. Okay. Man, I'm so jacked up. I don't know. A jack couldn't get me down.
No.
So you know what I'm saying. So, but I do believe that God uses us best. I think He used crackpots best. To let His light shine out of those vessels that have been cracked. Because one thing about me, I'm not judgmental at all. I'm not judgmental. Sometimes they say I give people too many chances. Sometimes they say I see, sometimes you can see the good in somebody that other people don't see the good in. Some people say, man, there's no good in that person. I'm starting to believe that a little bit too about certain people. But but I try to see the good in everybody. I try to see the good in everybody. I try to give out the same energy I want to receive, and things like that. So I'm trying to bring awareness to my community, trying to bring awareness to our community.
Yes, sir.
We know we have a lot of issues that we have to overcome. It's been like that for a long time, but we've always been overcomers.
That's right.
So I don't think it's gonna stop. If there's nothing to eat, just give us some mayonnaise and some bread, and we'll make it work. You know what I mean?
Yes,
we'll make it work. Give us some liver cheese and some viennas or something, some potted meat. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
So we know how to come from the bottom up. We as the young people would say, we know how to get it out the mud.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because now we're into our Juneteenth season.
Right.
And I would love for more people to really become educated on what Juneteenth is all about, and take those pieces of our history and what our ancestors went through, and how they, like you said, overcome. We've always been overcomers. We've always found a way to rise in the face of diversity, and survive. Right. And so I would love for people to really take hold of those principles that our ancestors held on to, and say, okay, if they did it, I can do it, and the next person can do it. But we have to do it together. That's the only way that we're going to be truly successful, is if we do it together. I'm looking through your vision, and you talk about literacy, eradicating poverty, reducing poverty, and promoting personal development and character. When we come back from our break, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I do want to talk about, we'll get to it on the other side, but in order for some of the issues in our communities to be reduced, I would love to see them eliminated, but that's in a perfect world. But to see them reduced, we have to instill these things into people. We have to encourage them to learn how to read and comprehend, learn ways to be either self-sufficient, increase their income, because we know that crime oftentimes is born out of a lack of something. Most people who steal, in most cases, from what I'm learning in my classes, most people who steal, it's because they have a lack of something, and they feel like that's their only way to get what they need. So kind of expand on that before we get like 2.5 minutes in this segment, and get into some of those.
Well, it goes back to a personal experience. I know that crime and a lot of stuff derives from poverty because I was born in poverty, you know, and the reason I did choose to go that route, I explained earlier that I choose to go that route with the drugs because you 9 times out of 10 you're gonna become a product of the environment you're in. So I was born in the project. You know, I was born in the projects. We call it the White Project. In the White Project, now we had the family feel because everybody shared with each other, but everybody was lacked. So that's why they were sharing.
Okay.
You know, I could come to your house, Cabela, and ask you, "Can I get 2 eggs?"
Okay.
You know, that's good that you build that community because we're in the community now where people don't share. So that was good. That was a good principle. But at the same time, growing up as a young man or a young lady, and you going to school and you can't get a pair of shoes. And everybody's, you know, these days, you know, they call it bullying. Back then, they was calling it joning.
Yeah.
But it is a form of bullying. But you can't get, you don't have shoes, and you're wearing repetitive uniforms or repetitive clothes, you know, and people seeing it, and then they're saying something about, man, do you have that shirt on Wednesday?
Yes.
You know, so you're coming out of a community where you're kind of being joned on, or you're kind of being talked about, and you're saying, you know what, when I get older, guess what, I'm not going to become a part of that. So in my neighborhood, the heroes were the drug dealers. The heroes were the guys with the big rims. The heroes were the guys with the jewelry on. So in some of my other friends that we talk about now, in their neighborhood, they 3rd and 4th generation farmers. So you're born into an environment, so that's what you're probably gonna become. So if your granddaddy, your great granddaddy, and your dad is a farmer, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be born into farming.
Yeah.
So if my cousin, my brother, my uncle, because those are the people that you have, because you don't have a father most of the time coming out of my community. So when you look up to your cousin, your friend cousin, and they uncles, and you see them with the big rims, you see them with the gold, you see them with the girls. Well, guess what? You're gonna become 9 times out of 10. You're gonna become that person.
Okay.
So you have to make a conscious decision and say, you know what? And it's hard to do. I mean, because we've lost a lot of people that I grew up with. We lost a lot of them to the streets. But I was just maybe one out of the few that said, you know what? One day I'm not gonna be that person. I'm not gonna be a sorry father. I'm not gonna be following that lack, you know. So
all right, we're going to put a pause there and take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll come back. We'll definitely pick up this conversation, but y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Are you dreading the arrival of a difficult relative for a holiday gathering? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Every family has relationships and relatives that are difficult. Here are some tips on how to handle these guests in your home. Maybe you have judgmental Judy. Judy is the relative that is always telling everyone what someone else is doing wrong, usually behind their backs. Be ready to gently remind Judy that you're not going to listen to constant judgment about others. Or maybe you've got profane Paul. He's the relative that has no filter for obscenities. Talk to Paul ahead of time and let him know that you want to create a safe and comfortable environment for everyone and that you're expecting him to be careful with his words. For more tips on hosting rambunctious relatives, visit my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a non-profit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
On June 4th, 2019, the Craighead County chapter of the NAACP presented a proposal to the Jonesboro City Council Public Works Committee to rename Johnson Avenue in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The renaming would affect Johnson from Dan Avenue to the Jonesboro city limit near Farville Curve. If enacted, there will be a 2-year transition period where both names, Johnson and MLK, will be recognized. The proposal was referred to the entire Jonesboro City Council, which will take up the proposal at their next meeting, scheduled for Tuesday, June 18, 2019, at the Jonesboro City Council chambers. Those wishing to speak in support or opposition of the proposal should arrive at the meeting by 4 p.m. to ensure a seat, as capacity will quickly be reached.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The summer months are the most dangerous time for youth. More are experimenting with alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs during this time, and there is an increased occurrence of accidents and deaths as a result. Be aware and be safe. This message is brought to you by Crowley's Ridge Development Council.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
Did you know that KLEK 102.5 FM is a non-profit organization? Did you know that you can donate to KLEK 102.5 FM and your donation is tax deductible? Donations to non-profit organizations such as KLEK can reduce the amount of taxes you may owe the IRS or increase the amount of any potential tax refund. Support your KLEK today. You can donate by calling 870-277-1080, visiting our studio at 1411 Franklin Street in Jonesboro, or on our website www.klekfm.org. We at KLEK 102.5 FM are blessed and grateful for your support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I want to say good morning to some people who just joined us. I know I just talking about Minister Ime Ilukbe from Future Fulfillments, Miss Angela Artis, who says they call it checking now. Also, well said, sir, about your previous comments. Good morning to Mr. Edward Blankenship, Coach 360. How you doing? All right, and so thank you everyone who's tuned in. Please share this video and please share information about Mr. Sandy Gillespie's organization, Healing in the Hood. Even though he's out of Blythe, Arkansas, you've been making moves all around Arkansas. So we thank you for your service to the communities, you know, the surrounding communities, and not just your own, because everyone can use a little healing in whatever hood they live in.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to get back into our conversation. We got cut short because we were kind of going good. We were talking about, you know, how crime is often born out of poverty situations, and when people have a lack of education, they have no desire to really get more, or they have no desire, and it's sometimes to do better. You know, they become a product of their situation, their circumstances. And sometimes it's not that they just want to be, they have no hope, or they have no, I don't know, there's something lacking. And until people like you and other organizations come along to show them that you don't have to be this, you don't have to stay stuck here.
Right.
You know, so tell us more about what are some things you talk about, or how do you do your meetings, or how do you reach out to the kids and other individuals of the community?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Kabila, you just said something earlier about you don't think people wake up and just want to be criminals. I say all the time, I don't think there's one person that woke up and said, today I want to be a murderer, you know, I want to be a drug dealer, I want to be a gangbanger. I don't think there's one person that woke up and said that, because look, when we look at our kids, they're just innocent. So everything that happens from that point of birth, therefore their own, it has to be put into them. So if you know, and I'm gonna tell you something that I've learned. No matter what we do in Healing in the Hood, no matter what you do, no matter what our churches do, influence is always gonna win.
Okay.
Influence will always win. I was telling you about how my grandmother sheltered us, even though we didn't have a mom. Me and my sister, after my mom was murdered, influence still managed to win in my life.
Okay.
So when I got with my friends and they were doing this, and I was seeing the money they were making, and I was seeing the different things that was happening with them, that clubbing scene, influence ended up taking me to that level and had me in the street because I wasn't raised that way. So what we have to do is we have to find out how can we counter influence and how can we overcome it. And my brother Ed Blankenship, who I just heard you say his name, my brother Ed Blankenship, he sent out a text the other day to our brothers group. We got a brothers group. And he said, man, we deal in our community, we deal with a bunch of seers. Our people have to see it. Okay. So, you know, if I give you my vision 9 times out of 10, somebody like you will probably buy into it. Mm-hmm. Somebody like Ed will probably buy into it. And you probably help me push it. I'll help you push your vision. But most of our people have to see you win first. They have to see you make it first before I join it. Okay. I need you to win first. You know, so I think we're dealing with a bunch of people that have the jump. I don't want to say this in a negative connotation, but bandwagon. Yeah. I jump on the bandwagon after I see you made it. You know, but we need our brothers and sisters to come together and help us get the bandwagon moving. Okay. You know what I mean? So the bandwagon is not gonna move unless you help me make it move. And you know, in something we talked about poverty. I listen to Dr. Carl Anderson a lot. I don't know if you know him or not, but he talks about the black dollar. Okay. The black dollar stays in our community only 6 hours once we make it. The white people dollar stays in their community 23 to 25 days. Jews, which holds the most, 27 to 28 days before they take it outside of their community. Wow. But we're the only one that takes our dollar outside of the community almost as soon as it's made. And the reason being is because we don't own anything. So if you don't own anything, you become a consumer. You're not a producer, you're a consumer. So that's why we can spend $3.2 billion in buying weave, hair weave that we don't even invest in. That's why we can make the Jordan brand big, because we're consumers. So what you're consuming, why you think we have other ethnicities that come into our neighborhoods and set up stores? In our neighborhoods, you don't have black-owned stores, and if you do, they're not going to support them.
And that's really sad. Just here in Jonesboro, on the side of town I live in, I have seen 2 beauty supplies attempt to come, and they closed down within a year because people didn't support them. I've seen some other businesses come and go, but the ones that have stayed, again, are not owned by us. It's
a reality. So, you know, our thriving businesses comes out of our houses because, you know, there's no overhead. Mm-hmm. So the only way we're going to thrive is I got to cook me some chicken wings in my house and put me some spaghetti on the side, and I sell plates out of my home. And that's the only way I succeed, because I got to put it on Facebook to succeed, because I know if I get a building, someone that looks like me probably is not going to support that. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm a witness. I'm a business owner. I've owned a couple businesses. I owned a restaurant, and I appreciate the people that supported me. But 80% of my clientele were people that didn't look like me. And you know, and my thing is this. I don't know how we're gonna break this jealousy thing that we have with one another. It's almost like we hate one another. You know, and it's sad, because I love my people. I love everybody, but I definitely love my people, and I want to see us thrive. I want to see our communities thrive. I want to see us at Juneteenth celebrations. I mean, we should have Juneteenth celebrations more than June the 15th. Yeah. More than June the 22nd. I mean, it should be live. We should be loving on one another. We shouldn't have to wait to funerals to get together and love on each other. Don't come to my funeral and tell me how great I was. Okay. You know, don't tell me. I can't hear you. I can't hear you at the funeral.
Give me my roses now.
Yeah. You know, so we need to start building each other up. It needs to be heard. Kabila, you're doing a great job over here in Jonesboro. I'm loving your show. It needs to be heard. Mm-hmm. Not get behind your back and say, I can't, man, I can't stand it. You know, that's the things that we do. But what it's gonna take people like you. It's gonna take people like some of the people I named earlier. We have to make a conscious decision not to play into that. I don't even play into politics. I don't play into Democratic. I don't play in Republican. Mm-hmm. Anything that you have to choose sides is divisive. If you have to be a Baptist or a Kojic, you just chose a side.
Okay.
So you're gonna create division. No matter what we have to do in reality says, don't choose a side. Just be neutral. Be a free thinker. I'm a free thinker. I listen to Muslims. I listen to atheists. I listen to Christians because everybody can bring something to the table.
Right. Okay.
You know, so don't just be closed-minded to these things. And closed-minded has set black people way back.
Yes, sir.
Being closed-minded, being just think that Christians are the only one that's right. It set us way back. We're falling behind the 8 ball even further because we're not open to thinking and changing the way we think.
We've got to do better. We want to see more unity, more cohesion in our communities. We want to see our future generations rise above whatever the current situation is.
Right.
At the moment, we have got to come together. We have got to pool our resources. We have to. I mean, it's.
Yeah, Dr. Clyde Anderson says about pooling our resources. Dr. Clyde Anderson makes a statement. He says they ask us on one hand, do we want integration? We want segregation. He said, I don't care about either of those. I want aggregation. So what we do is we aggregate our resources together. We pool our resources. You and I can build a business together if we put our resources together.
Right.
If we put our 2 credit scores together, we probably can go to the bank. You know, so we put our stuff together. You know, we learn how to work together because guess what? Everybody else that's winning, they learn how to do it together.
Yes.
You know, might not even like each other.
I know.
But they've learned how to work together. So we got to learn how to work together, and we got to learn how to trust each other.
Yes, sir.
We don't trust one another.
All right. Miss Shanquetta makes a comment. She says, it's generationally taught, and we have to teach others to think differently. That influence of hate has to be educated socially, financially, spiritually, and more. We have to spread our wings. Thank you, Miss Shanquetta.
Yeah, she always has something. She always has something to add to it too. She's awesome.
And I want to say this to everyone out there that has a program. We have to start incorporating those things. What she mentioned, educating socially, financially, spiritually. We have to start educating on those different levels, on different platforms. We can't just get together and just speak some empowering words. We got to get to know who we're serving as well. It has to be a two-way communication.
Right.
We can't just be doing all the talking and giving people what we think they need.
Exactly.
We need to know what they need.
Right.
So we can serve them better.
Well, you know, that's even in our education system. You know, we have educators and we have people that set up and make the laws and write the laws for our schools. But every school should be specific to that community. Mm-hmm. And you have to have the right people at the table. And you know who the right people that we always leave out are the people we're serving, the youth.
Yeah.
How can you do something for us without us? So, you know, in Healing in the Hood, we don't try to set all the rules. We don't try to set all the curriculum. We don't know. I'm 40. Okay, what I'm doing at 40 is not what they're doing now at 16. Yeah. When I was 16, they're not doing it. It's totally different. The music is different. The dress. I was looking at these kids with these tight pants. I was like, man, no way I know. I would never wear no tight pants like that. But this is not my era. Mm-hmm. This is their era. So they need a voice.
Yes.
And we have to respect their voice just as well as they respect our voice.
That's right.
And we have to come to the table. We have to compromise. We have to say, this is good for us. That's not good for us. That's even with voting. If we vote as a people, if we say, okay, we got Kabila on the ticket, we got Shanquetta on the ticket, 10 of us is gonna say, we're gonna say, you know what? I don't care. We got 6 that's with Shanquetta. We got 4 that's with Kabila. Well, guess what? All 10 of us now are with Shanquetta.
Yeah, we
got to pull it together. We got to learn how to work together to become a voice. You know, so it's different things that we're trying to teach our young people.
Yes, like I want to go back to how you mentioned this is not our era because I'm in my 40s too. So sometimes I feel like I'm disconnected from some of the kids when it comes to how they dress and how they talk. Luckily, I have a son who's 21, so I'm kind of up there a little bit. But anyway, we have to meet them where they are and then bring them up to where we are, or encourage them to come up to where we are.
Right.
We can't just reach out to them and say, I need you to be here when they're still on level 2.
Exactly.
So we have to gradually bring them up and educate them and teach them the importance of why we want them to come up. I'm constantly telling my son how to be financially secure, how to, even though my parents didn't teach me a lot of things that I feel like I needed, I'm trying to do better by him. I'm trying to do better by all the young girls that I encounter.
Right.
I had my son when I was 19. I don't want to see no other young girl go through that because while you can make it, it just delays some things in your life.
Right.
So I would love to see everyone go for their goals and their dreams without having as many roadblocks as possible. So tell us about how often do you meet with groups and how are your groups comprised? Like what ages, and give us some more details.
Okay. Well, the group we accept kids 8 to 18.
Okay.
But we actually, we say 8 to 18, being honest, but we don't turn anybody away. I mean, if we got people that's older than 18, we are also, we work with outside groups. Like I told you, Daddy Diamonds are the girls.
Okay.
They're pretty much the same age range. They're just girl specific.
Okay.
But we work with DBHS out of Little Rock, Division of Behavioral Health and Services.
Okay.
We work with them. We work with our mayor's office in Blytheville.
That's awesome.
Our police, because we just had a gun buyback in April. We just did a gun buyback, was really successful. We had I think 30 guns turned in less than an hour. And we did that with our local police department. We work with our churches. Primarily, I definitely work with BCSM a lot, Blytheville Christian Samaritan Ministries over in Blytheville. And we open to work with anybody that does positive things. We're definitely in our schools, our school system in Blytheville. We mentor in the schools as well. I do volunteer coaching for 3 months out of the year at our elementary school. I coach 5th grade. My guys, Ricky, we call him Pretty Ricky, that is. Pretty Ricky and CB, Chris Brown, he lives over here in Jonesboro.
Okay.
They coach our 6th grade team, and my brother James Rogers, James and Tyrone Smith coach 4th grade, and J-Ro, he helps me for 5th grade, which I'm so glad to get J-Ro. I don't know what to do because I don't know what I was going to do this year. J-Ro is he owns a local lawn service in Blytheville with Jonathan Jacobs, so he helps me with the 5th grade. He does summer ball as well. So we try to stay active in our community.
That's awesome.
We're always in something. We always got our hand in the cookie jar somewhere. So we work with everybody that's doing things in our community. Project Lunch, the Fatherhood Initiative that we got with Cecil McDonald and EOC. So I mean, there's a lot of partnerships that we work with in Blytheville.
That's really amazing, and I would love to see more of these groups that are male focused. I know oftentimes we put a lot of focus on our young girls, but males need just as much or more. And unfortunately, as you mentioned, in our community, a lot of families are single parent,
right,
mainly ran by women, grandma, auntie, somebody, a female of some sort, and we need more. We can never have enough male influence into our kids' life. Even girls need their dad.
Never have enough.
And so I would love to see more male-focused groups come together and just really collaborate. There's room for everybody.
It is.
There's enough work for everybody.
Trust me, it is.
So I would love to see everybody come together. It's amazing what you're doing over there in Blytheville. And I want to touch back on, you said you have a connection with the mayor's office and the police department. That is essential also for any group in any community. Get a connection with the local city officials,
right,
city council, mayor, police department, fire department, whoever.
County judge.
Yes, most definitely.
County judge, we'll connect with him as well. He does a lot for us as well.
Because you never know. What if one of your guys got in trouble and it wasn't something super severe and they were just in the wrong place, wrong time kind of deal? Maybe because of your relationship with the county judge and the police and whoever, not to say you can get them off, but you can help them out in that situation.
Right. It's always good to be relationships, in any circumstance, and then, we've been conditioned so bad to not deal with the police. So, like, we did the gun buyback, and, all the rumors came out. We the police. I was like, my God, this is the condition our people are really in, that you can't even build a now, who's the first person you call if somebody shooting your house? You're going to call the police. So you're not going to call me, you're going to call the police, So I'm like, we need to have those relationships built. And if we feel like policing is an issue, then we need to become, if policing is part of the problem, then if we're going to fix the problem, become a part of the problem, get in it and change the problem. So I mean, we can't complain about these things if we're not willing to put our boots in the water and get in it.
That's right.
So if we need to change policing, well, let's get us some black policing.
All right.
And then let's change the system. Let's change the way it operates. All
right. Shaquetta says, we need y'all wisdom. I'm listening seriously. And then good morning to Miss Sandra Johnson, who says, great job, young man.
Tell her I said thank you.
All right. And one thing I want to touch on, going back to the policing situation, we have built a really great relationship with our local police. And the chief, he does a monthly show here on the station. And he said that since he's been doing the show about 2.5 years, the diversity within the police department has grown. They've received more applicants, minority applicants, and they've actually brought on more minorities into the police department since he's been chief.
Wow.
And so they also have a Citizens Police Academy. They do 2 cycles a year. And so this gives citizens a chance to kind of get inside, hands-on experience. They do ride-alongs. They get to try on the different equipment, and they go through, it's like the station manager can tell me exactly how many weeks. It's an extensive course,
right.
1 day a week, so many hours a day, and for so many weeks, and then they do, formal graduation. So if all the police departments around the world could have these citizen-based programs to allow citizens to come in and see what really goes on behind the scenes and build those relationships up.
Well, you know what? That's something I'm going to take back to my community. I'm going to take that back and tell Michael, especially about the chief coming on your show.
Yes.
I think that'd be something good, because that's what one of the things missing is communication and transparency. Mm-hmm. See, if we the police and blacks are enemies because the media portrays it like that.
Yes.
And that what makes us, it makes it, because 99% of the time a transaction is going to go great between the police and whoever. But those times that the media brings it out are those times that are going to get those ratings. It'll get them those ratings on their station. Police shoots a black man. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's going to storm. It's going to make us go haywire. They know we're going to go nuts. But what about those interactions when they go well? They're not going to advertise the things that are well, because we're drawn to negativity. No matter, look at TV, look at reality TV.
Oh my God.
Well, we'll watch the Housewives of New York so bad because we know somebody will get to fighting on there.
Yes.
Somebody posts a fight video on Facebook. Look how many likes it get opposed to you posting something positive. They'll go viral and you'll get 5 or 6 likes to something, because the world is drawn. Our community is drawn to negativity. So negativity sells, and that's just bottom line.
Yes, sir. We have to do better by ourselves. We have to do better by our community and the people that live in our communities. We have to start the elevation process now. So we have to work together. Miss Angela says, bridging the gap with the POCO, most definitely. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up our discussion. And, any final words you would like to share. We thank everyone out there who's listening and watching. Thank you for supporting KLEK, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. If you're still dreaming of owning a home, don't be discouraged by the tough economy. You can still make your dream of home ownership come true. First, get serious about reducing debt and cleaning up your credit while saving money towards a down payment of 20% of the price of a home. A great credit score, 680 or above, and the cash for a down payment will make you more attractive to home sellers. Do not try to buy more home than you can afford. Your monthly mortgage payment, including taxes and insurance, should not exceed 30% of your monthly income. Do not overextend yourself by buying a home with a larger payment than you can afford. Be honest with yourself about your finances and don't get caught up. Better to start with a less expensive home that you can actually afford than to struggle financially, default on a mortgage, and lose the home of your dreams. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters at AURN.com.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
LEK 102.5 FM will host our second annual Juneteenth celebration Saturday, June 15th, starting at 10 a.m. Parker Park Community Center, 1506 North Church Street in Jonesboro. This year's theme is Fulfilling the Dreams of Our Ancestors. There will be speakers providing educational information, our sweet potato pie contest, barbecue cook-off to see who's the best on the grill, head wrap competition, and line dance-off. Prizes will be awarded for each competition. There also will be bounce houses and games for the whole family to enjoy. Special Juneteenth t-shirts are also available for sale. We would love for the community as a whole to be a part of this celebration. If you would like to be a part of our Juneteenth celebration or enter any of our Juneteenth contests, visit our website klekfm.org or call us at 870-277-1080.
House of Details, located at 3915 East Highland in Jonesboro, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, waxing, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more, with the motto of anything mean we can clean. Details at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and at klekfm.org.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
The Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated was chartered on June 29, 1975 in Jonesboro, Arkansas. AKA was founded on a mission comprised of 5 basic tenets, which are to cultivate and encourage high scholastic and ethical standards, promote unity and friendship amongst college women, study and help alleviate problems concerning girls and women in order to improve their social stature, maintain a progressive interest in college life, and be of service to all mankind through programs of educational enrichment, health promotion, family strengthening, environmental ownership, and global impact. More information about the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is available at Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kabila Jones, and my special guest today is Mr. Sandy B.B. Gillespie. I can't thank him enough for joining me today. He is from Blytheville, Arkansas, and runs an organization called Healing in the Hood. If you would like to learn more information, go to Facebook and look him up and his organization and send him a message and give him a shout out, and maybe find a way that you can help in any of the projects that he and his partners have going on. And any of the other organizations out there in Blytheville, Arkansas, or just Mississippi County in general, because Osceola, Blytheville, like they're kind of just down the road from each other.
We're neighbors.
All right.
Kissing cousins.
All right. So in this last segment, I know we've talked about a lot of things, but if any other things you want to throw in that people may not know or you would like them to know about Healing in the Hood, any upcoming events? Let's talk about some of the awards that you won because of the work you've done.
Well, I've received several awards, and I'm humbled. I'm humbled by the fact of some of the awards I've received, and some of the people that have presented them to me. 2 years ago, I was at Chamber. I had a citizen. I don't know if it was Citizen of the Year or something like that. Something of the year, Citizen of the Year or something like that award from the Chamber of Commerce in Blytheville. Wow. I was totally shocked because I wasn't even going to attend the Chamber banquet because I was tired. I attended, and when they called it out, I was looking around like, did they call my name? And that's exactly what I said. I said, did they say my name? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, man, they shocked me. And I got an award from one of the big news stations out of Little Rock, where I was nominated as a Community Service of the Year agency. I received awards from Eula Mid-South for Organization of the Quarter, Organization of the Year. I've received several awards from our state representative. I received the proclamation for Healing in the Hood from him. I've received several awards, and in all honesty, I just thank God for the opportunity. I thank God for allowing these people to think something of me, because I don't try to do things for notoriety. I don't do the stuff I do for notoriety. I do it from the heart. I do it because there's a need. I do it because I love my community, and I love the young people in our community. I love everybody in our community, and I want Blytheville to be a successful community because I have kids that's growing up in Blytheville. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do. That's why I do what I do.
I'm looking through your Facebook page and looking at all these great pictures of different events that you have hosted. So please go check out their page and send them some love. And again, find out how you can get more involved with this organization, Healing in the Hood. And it's a great to be recognized for these different awards. Someone had to nominate you.
Yes.
And so that means they think very highly of you and what you're doing, and so that's wonderful. So now, last 2 minutes, any final words of encouragement or shout outs?
Well, I definitely want to shout out my team, because it's like a car. The car runs only because there's a motor, but you don't see the motor.
Okay.
All you see is the body of the vehicle. So when people speak of Healing in the Hood, of course the body is me. The person they see will be me, but they don't see the motor, and the motor is what keeps that thing chiming. Any breakdowns in the motor, it could result in you being delayed on your travel. So if I didn't have those great people that surround me and encourage me, because there's been times that I had the towel up in the air, and I wanted to drop it. Because doing this kind of work, you get ridiculed, and you get ridiculed a lot by the people that you're trying to help. So and sometimes you just say enough is enough. Mm-hmm. And but it's kind of like Jeremiah, when the fire shut up in your bone, there's nothing you can do about it but continue to work. So I want to thank everybody that has contributed. I want to thank the people that has gave us financially, that has gave us prayerfully, they give their time. Daddy Diamonds, the city of Blytheville. Y'all are the people that make me who I am today. I want to thank my cousin Joaquin Benson Jr. He's right there with me. Shabby Span, James Rogers, Derek King, Nicole Gillespie, my wife. I want to thank Nina Watson, Nicole Terry, all those people that make us that make the organization become who it is. Blytheville School District. Thank you all.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sandy.
And thank you, Kabila, for having me on this show.
Thank you for what you do for your community and surrounding areas. I will be stalking you and keep seeing what's happening out there in Blytheville, Arkansas, and hopefully we'll have you back again and some of your other team members on here again.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna bring the whole team. We're gonna flood your office next time.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. All right. So real quick before we go, I want to say good morning to Stephanie Diane Clark. She says, keep up the great work. Great analogy. You have to have a team, a great team. Thank you so much. It says amen for his organization. I apologize, I don't know what the other letters mean, but please forgive me, but it's an amen for your organization.
Tell I said thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everyone. Everyone have a great and blessed day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of